The universal mechanics. Eliza Rise wiped the sweat from her brow as she studied the twisted mass of alien technology before her. The engineering bay of Stellaris Station hummed with activity, but a hush had fallen over her team as they gathered around the exposed drive core of the Kavoran warship. "Well?" Captain Morrow asked, his voice tight with the political implications of their current situation. "Can we fix it?" Eliza ran her hands through her dark hair, leaving a streak of iridescent fluid. "I've never seen anything like this. The quantum field stabilizers are completely inverted, and those crystalline matrices, they're not supposed to be that color." The Kavoran ambassador, Ambassador Thisk, clicked his mandibles in what the translation software interpreted as frustration. "3 of the finest repair facilities in the Galactic Alliance have declared it beyond salvation. Your species' reputation for unorthodox solutions is why we risked bringing our flagship here." What the ambassador didn't say, but what everyone knew, was that the Kavorans rarely allowed any species to examine their military technology. Their arrival at Stellaris had sent shockwaves through diplomatic channels. If humans couldn't fix their ship, relations between Earth and the notoriously militant species would deteriorate rapidly. "We'll need 48 hours, Eliza said finally, "and complete access to all systems." The ambassador's compound eyes narrowed to slits. "Unacceptable. Limited access only to critical systems." Captain Morrow stepped forward. "Then we cannot guarantee repairs." A tense silence filled the bay before the ambassador's translator crackled. "You have 36 hours and supervised access. Nothing more." After the ambassador and his security detail departed, Eliza gathered her team. "Okay, people, this is what we've been training for. Jen, I want material analysis on that crystalline structure. Kaido, diagnostic on the field stabilizers. Rodriguez, start mapping the power distribution network." "Chief," Rodriguez said, looking uneasy, "their systems are configured completely differently from anything in our database. The technology it is beyond." "Nothing is beyond," Eliza cut him off. "Just unfamiliar. Remember what I always say." The team replied in tired unison. The impossible just hasn't been solved yet. As her team dispersed, Eliza studied the holographic schematics. Humans had only joined the galactic community 40 years ago, thrust into a cosmos filled with species who had been spacefaring for millennia. Many looked down on humanity as primitive newcomers, but in those 4 decades, human repair stations had gained a peculiar reputation. When no one else could fix something, humans somehow found a way. 12 hours into the repair effort, Eliza was beginning to doubt her own mantra. The Kavoran drive system operated on principles that seemed to defy the laws of physics as humans understood them. "It's not working," Kaido said, throwing down his diagnostic tool in frustration. "Every time we realign the field harmonics, the secondary matrix destabilizes. According to every principle we understand, this ship shouldn't even function." Eliza stared at the drive core, its alien geometries pulsing with ethereal light. "We're approaching this wrong," she said slowly. "We're trying to understand it based on our frameworks, our rules." "What other rules are there?" Rodriguez asked. Eliza smiled. "Let's find out. Jen, can you bring me that analog recorder? The old-fashioned one with the physical gauges. The one not connected to any computer system?" Jen asked, puzzled. "Exactly. Let's measure what's actually happening, not what our systems tell us should be happening." For the next 6 hours, they took measurements using the simplest, most rudimentary tools available. Slowly, a pattern emerged, one that no computer algorithm had detected because it didn't fit any established model. "It's adaptive," Eliza breathed, excitement building. "The drive doesn't operate on fixed principles. It evolves based on surrounding conditions. Our diagnostic tools were actually changing what we were trying to measure." The watching Kavoran engineer's mandibles clicked rapidly. "Impossible. Drive systems must maintain quantum stability through fixed parameters." Eliza shook her head. "Not this one. It's brilliant, actually. Instead of fighting against spatial fluctuations, your drive system harmonizes with them. That's why the traditional repair approaches failed. They were trying to force it back to a standardized state. How did you determine this? The Kavoran engineer demanded. Rodriguez laughed. We stopped overthinking it and just looked at what was actually happening. With their new understanding, the repair strategy changed completely. Rather than forcing the system to conform to theoretical models, they developed a method to help the adaptive process reestablish itself. Using a jury-rigged array of field emitters, they created a controlled environment where the drive could recalibrate naturally. By hour 35, the warship's systems began humming with renewed energy. The crystalline matrices returned to their proper coloration, and the quantum field stabilized. Ambassador Thisk observed the final diagnostic checks, his normally impassive demeanor showing signs of what might have been respect. 3 advanced civilizations declared this repair impossible, yet you succeeded using primitive tools and methods no trained engineer would consider. Eliza wiped her hands on a rag. Sometimes the most sophisticated approach is the simplest one. Your drive system is actually more advanced than our diagnostic tools. We had to step back and see the bigger picture. As the Kavoran delegation prepared to depart, the ambassador approached Captain Morrow. We will inform the Galactic Alliance of your success. Expect additional repair contracts. Captain Morrow nodded. We're always happy to help. After the warship departed, the captain joined Eliza in the observation lounge. How did you really figure it out? Eliza smiled. Most advanced species have been using the same technological principles for thousands of years. They know exactly how things should work. When something breaks outside those parameters, they're lost. And humans, we're still figuring it all out. We don't have the luxury of certainty, so we experiment. We try the ridiculous. We break rules because we're still learning what the rules actually are. Captain Morrow laughed. So our advantage is ignorance. I prefer to call it adaptability, Eliza replied. Either way, I have a feeling we're going to be very busy soon. She was right. Within 2 weeks, ships from a dozen different species began arriving at Stellaris Station, each bearing systems declared irreparable by traditional methods. The humans' reputation spread across the stars. When all hope was lost, when even the most advanced civilizations had given up, humans found a way. Humanity's greatest weakness, their relative inexperience, had somehow become their greatest strength. The Galactic Proving Ground. 6 months after the Kavoran incident, Stellaris Station had expanded to 3 times its original size. Repair bays housed vessels from across the galaxy, and Eliza's engineering team had grown from 12 to over 60 specialists. Chief called Rodriguez as he entered Eliza's office. You need to see this. He placed a datapad on her desk. The message bore the intricate holographic seal of the Consortium of Advanced Species, the oldest and most prestigious scientific body in the galaxy. Eliza frowned as she read. They want us to participate in a repair competition. Not just any competition. The Galactic Proving Ground happens once every 50 years. The best repair specialists from across the known universe competing to solve impossible engineering challenges. Rodriguez couldn't hide his excitement. No newly contacted species has ever been invited before. They're testing us, Captain Morrow said when Eliza brought him the invitation. Our success has made some powerful entities uncomfortable. The old guard doesn't appreciate upstarts changing the established order. Do we accept? Eliza asked. The captain's smile was wolfish. Absolutely. Show them what humans can really do. 2 weeks later, Eliza and a team of 5 engineers arrived at the massive Consortium station near the galactic core. Representatives from 23 species had gathered, many from civilizations that had been spacefaring when humans were still discovering fire. The Consortium director, a Telgian with translucent skin that revealed the complex biological machinery within, greeted them with thinly veiled condescension. We welcome Earth's representatives to the Proving Ground. While your species' recent accomplishments are Noteworthy, this competition demands mastery of principles developed over millennia. Eliza smiled politely. We're honored to participate and learn from such distinguished company. The competition structure was straightforward. Each team would face identical challenges of escalating difficulty, repairing increasingly complex and damaged technology from across the galaxy. Teams would be eliminated at each stage until only one remained. The first challenge seemed almost insultingly simple, a damaged atmospheric processor from a standard colony ship. Eliza's team completed the repairs in half the allotted time, drawing murmurs from observers. Lucky, muttered a Valerian engineer as they proceeded to the second round. Simple technology even primitives could understand. The second challenge involved a quantum communications array twisted by exposure to a neutron star. 3 teams were eliminated, but the humans finished third. By the fourth round, only 8 teams remained, and the challenge shifted dramatically. A shattered drive core from an ancient derelict ship discovered beyond the galactic rim. Technology no modern species fully understood. As Eliza studied the alien machinery, something felt wrong. The damage pattern was too precise, too methodical. This wasn't an accident, she whispered to Kaido. Look at the fracture patterns. These are deliberately created. Before they could discuss further, a series of unexpected power fluctuations surged through the testing chamber. Warning lights flashed as radiation levels spiked dangerously. Evacuate immediately, ordered the consortium supervisor. Wait, Eliza shouted, rushing to her diagnostic equipment. These fluctuations aren't random. They're targeted at our workstation. The Valerian team leader sneered. Paranoid primitives. Your equipment simply can't handle the power requirements. But Eliza had already located a tiny device hidden within the ancient drive core. A sabotage tool programmed to trigger cascading failures in Earth technology. Rather than report the sabotage immediately, Eliza made a quick decision. Rodriguez, manual override protocols. Kaido, radiation shields. We're continuing. Chief, the radiation, Zhen began. Will be manageable for short exposure, Eliza finished. Let's show them what humans do under pressure. For the next 3 hours, they worked without computer assistance, using only analog tools and their own senses. When the chamber was finally declared safe again, the consortium officials found the human team not only alive but standing beside a fully repaired drive core that hummed with impossible energy. How? Demanded the Telgen director. Our sensors indicated catastrophic radiation levels in your section. Eliza held up the sabotage device. Someone didn't want us to succeed today. When our systems were compromised, we did what humans have always done. We adapted. An investigation revealed that a faction within the consortium had orchestrated the sabotage, unwilling to accept the changing galactic order. As punishment, they were disqualified from the competition. In the final challenge, only 3 teams remained. The humans, a group of Meridian quantum specialists, and the archivists, a species so ancient they had records of Earth's earliest civilizations. The challenge was the most difficult yet. A completely alien biological mechanical hybrid system recovered from the galactic fringe. It defied conventional understanding, combining principles of quantum mechanics, organic growth, and dimensional manipulation. The Meridians approached it methodically, applying established theories and techniques. The archivists consulted their vast knowledge banks, searching for historical precedents. Eliza's team did something different. They spent half their allotted time simply observing, watching how the damaged system attempted to repair itself, studying its responses to different stimuli, seeking patterns in its apparent chaos. It's alive, Eliza finally announced. Not conscious, but alive. The mechanical components and biological elements exist in symbiosis. Preposterous, declared the archivist leader. Technology and biology are distinct domains. But Eliza had already begun implementing a radical approach. Rather than trying to repair the system directly, they created an environment where it could heal itself, like providing the right conditions for a wounded organism. When time expired, only the human team had achieved success. The hybrid system pulsed with renewed energy, its functions restored through an approach no other team had considered. The consortium director presented the victory medallion with visible discomfort. Humanity has surprised us today. Your methods are unorthodox, even disturbing to traditional engineering philosophy. With respect, Eliza replied, accepting the medallion. Perhaps that's exactly why we succeeded. We approached these challenges without preconceptions about what's possible or impossible. Later, as they prepared to return to Stellar Station, the archivist leader approached Eliza privately. His ancient eyes studied her with new interest. For 100,000 years, he said slowly, the great civilizations of this galaxy have built upon established knowledge, refining what we already understood. We became masters of the known, but prisoners of our own certainty. And humans? Eliza asked. The archivist made a sound that might have been laughter. You see possibility where we see only disorder. You embrace uncertainty as an opportunity rather than a threat. He gestured to the stars visible through the station viewport. The galaxy is changing, Engineer Reyes. New challenges emerge from the unknown. Perhaps the time has come for new approaches. When they returned to Stellar Station, they found it busier than ever. Word of their victory had spread, and ships from across the galaxy waited for human ingenuity to solve problems deemed unsolvable. Captain Moreau met them at the docking bay. Congratulations on your victory, though I'm not sure if you've made our jobs easier or harder. Eliza looked at the dozens of alien vessels docked at the station, each with unique technologies, challenges, and impossibilities waiting to be solved. Both, she replied with a smile. Definitely both. As she walked through the bustling repair bays, watching her teams work on technologies from 100 worlds, Eliza reflected on humanity's unique place in the galactic community. Other species had longer histories, more advanced technology, and deeper knowledge. But humans had something different: the willingness to question established truths, to approach problems from unexpected angles, to embrace failure as the path to discovery. In a universe where certainty had become limitation, humanity's greatest strength was seeing possibility in the impossible. And that's why, across the stars, when ships failed and hope faded, aliens trusted no one but humans to fix their ships.